Good morning, everybody. Kyle Granger, meteorologist Kyle Granger in the WVLT newsroom, where we have been looking at some of the latest data coming in for the storms that we expect on Wednesday, which will be on the strong to severe side. And we've even got some rain showers out there today. So this wind situation as well that we've been dealing with back with us for our Tuesday as well. Let me take you right to radar and cloud track right now and show you what's going on. You see the showers that have been moving through parts of Cumberland County this morning. All of this light in nature and nothing like what we're going to deal with when we wake up on Wednesday. And that's the reason for us to be on the air right now, to give you an idea and a better understanding of what is going to happen as we move into our Wednesday, because it is such a different story. So for the rest of this afternoon on Tuesday, we're warm. We're in the 70s for the most part, or at least approaching 70 in many locations. But notice those winds there gusting upwards of 25 to 35 miles per hour moving into this afternoon, with just limited rain opportunities. And of course, other communities like Loudon, 70, 69 Sweetwater to Athens, and then finally we get into the Cumberland Plateau, 65 Crossville to Jamestown at 67, with off and on showers continuing in places like Williamsburg to Barberville, 70 to 69 degrees, and then finally over into the Smokies, 74 Dandridge, Pigeon Forge, 60 up at the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Then overnight tonight is when those showers will settle in. Again, some moderate rainfall at times, not out of the question. With the periods of rain overnight tonight, 63 is where we're going to be for the start of the day. Here's those winds that I was talking about that are with us this afternoon, gusting upwards of 25, if not 35 miles per hour. You see some of those deeper purples. That is approaching that 35 to 40 plus, especially into our higher elevated communities. And that lasts with us right on into the afternoon as well. Here's 4:30 on our Tuesday, approaching a 30 mile per hour gust for places like Talbot into Hartford, and finally getting there by 8 o'clock tonight, as some more of these showers will move through and the winds will be on the increase and staying with us overnight as well. So you'll hear the rustle of the wind outside through the course of the overnight hours. And that sets us up for this weather alert that we have on our Wednesday. So 7 o'clock in the evening, this is kind of the latest information from the Futurecast here. You can see some of those heavy storms. Look at those reds that have settled in for Crossville to Wartburg, and pockets of that in Anderson County as well. 7 o'clock in the evening, heavy downpours, gusty winds, and the potential is there for some of those winds to be damaging as well. This fans out by 9 o'clock. More of us get in on it right in the heart of Knox County. That's where you can see that we've got a very heavy rain potential, at least from this solution over towards Dandridge, parts of our southern communities as well. And it doesn't let up all that much quickly. So we've got more in Gatlinburg by 11 o'clock in the evening for our Wednesday night, and this rolls right on into the start of our Thursday as well. So right now at this time, here's the solution we're looking at here. We've got a swath, a band of rain that will kind of settle up here, if you will, from Fentress County, from say Jamestown over to places like Oneida into Williamsburg, Middlesboro, and we're looking for that 3, maybe 4 inches of rain, and that's going to cause some of those runoff issues that we have been talking about here, at least for the past 24 hours when we issued this WVLT First Alert weather day. So the heavy rainfall leads to runoff issues. Some of you know in your neighborhood exactly where that street potentially could flood at, and that's what we are looking at. Or maybe you've got a creek in your backyard that will rise quickly. You get almost 4 inches of rain, and that definitely will cause those problems that we are accustomed to, like out here in front of our television station on Paper Mill. We get the flooding there. Remember, always turn around, don't drown. It only takes a matter of inches to move a car off of the roadway if that water is moving fast enough. So that's why the flooding threat is there. We want you to be safe and recognize that. Now, something new, since when you joined us yesterday at 10 o'clock in the morning, we now have a severe storm risk that is now upgraded to level 2 for parts of our region. Jamestown, Crossville, Wartburg, even West Knox County, from Greenback over to Loudon, Lenoir City, Kingston, Harriman, Madisonville, Tellico Plains, Athens, all under this level 2 risk right now, which just signifies for us that we have an increased threat for some of these storms to be on the strong to severe side. And this extends back down into central and middle Tennessee and down into Alabama, Mississippi as well, kind of the bullseye, if you will, primarily to our south, but can't rule out that we get one of these rogue storms that not only impacts places like Wartburg in this level 2, but La Follette, Morristown, Newport, Gatlinburg, all in this level 1. And it really only takes a 160 mile per hour wind gust where It takes down a tree, it takes down a power line, it causes problems in your neighborhood, and you're trying to figure out what to do. That's why we say keep your cell phone, your iPad, ever how you communicate with us, and we're able to communicate with you. Make sure you have that all charged so you get the latest information for us, as we'll be fully staffed through the evening hours to make sure that everyone knows exactly what is going on in your neighborhood. And, you know, hopefully we don't have to get on the air, but if we do, we will definitely do that. So there's an isolated chance for a tornado. That risk is there. Can't rule that out completely. But the biggest concern is going to be the high winds that we're looking at. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, as I said, if it brings down a tree limb, brings down a tree in your neighborhood, it brings down the power lines, it causes some major inconveniences for you and your neighborhood. Also, that flooding threat that we talked about, those heavy storms that come through and produce 1 to 2 inches quickly can already cause problems. But if you get in places like Oneida, like I showed you, and you get a 3-inch total in a matter of a couple of hours, that definitely could lead to some more problems. So just want to make sure that you're very well aware. Wednesday evening, starting around dinner time through the midnight hour is the primary threat there, but we could have a couple of lingering showers right on through the early part of our Thursday as well. So many of you will be sleeping. You need that secondary source of information of how to get those alerts, so you make sure your cell phone is charged and it's turned off of vibrate and off of that silent feature, so that it is on the alert mode, so that it tells you what's going on. We send you that information right to your fingertips. So the extended forecast is looking very simple. I'll pull up the entire thing here for you. We've got the alert day on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we start to dry it out a little bit. We've got a few lingering showers in the morning. Looks a lot better for Thursday afternoon. 67 is where we're going to be for the high. So staying in the 60s, that rolls right on in to the New Year's Eve holiday. And New Year's Eve is going to come in nice and warm. Now, I know a lot of us have been to Gatlinburg. We've all stood out there in the cold with the jackets on. We've got the multiple layers. And this year, you're just not going to need that. So just some sleeves. Might even get a little muggy for some of you. We do start Saturday at 56 degrees, but then we've got a second wave of showers and storms that will work their way through for later in the day on Saturday. Kind of the same situation we've got on our Wednesday, setting up for our Saturday evening as well, with some strong showers and storms and the potential for some localized flooding, and some of those storms potentially to go on the strong to severe side at any given place in time. And then on Sunday, that's when transition starts to happen. And you say, Kyle, we're probably going back to winter. Yes, it's going to feel that way as we start off each day into the 20s and finish in the 40s, a little closer to where we should be for this time of the year. So those of you who may be just now joining us, I want to take you back. Just let me flip through the graphics here. Gusty conditions for us today. Here's 1:30 in the afternoon. So you'll see those flags flying around once again on this Tuesday afternoon, and then we crank in the weather alert when we get into our Wednesday. The morning starts off with some pockets of moderate to rainfall that's with us, and then we get in some of those storms that are going to have just bursts of energy for the 7 o'clock hour. Again, could be strong to severe with lots of rain, gusty winds. At times you see in and around Wartburg, over to Crossville, Cumberland County, Crab Orchard, dealing with that. You see how this fans out through the 9 o'clock hour, with more of us dealing with the heavy rainfall. Look at central Knox County. That extends back out into, say, places like Alcoa as well. So definitely something to pay very close attention to in one of our more populated areas. And look into Dandridge. You've got a storm that could be over you, according to this particular solution. This does move forward. It stays with us right on through the 11 o'clock hour. Things die down a little bit, but we find a home over into the Smoky Mountains with the heaviest of these showers. You see here from Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, up into Cosby, Hartford, Newport, all dealing with that. And of course, in the mountains, that means this rain's going to go somewhere, and it's going to go into these mountain streams, and those will rise quickly here when you start to see rainfall coming down that quickly in a short amount of time. And again, that is Wednesday into the first of our Thursday. So what happens to be this solution here, 3.5 inches on Oneida. That's looking at that again. So if that path sets up over Oneida and you get that swath of rainfall, it is something that is of concern. And then again, as I showed you on the extended forecast, Saturday's another wave of rain. So we've got several days of rain that's with us setting up, and not a lot of time to dry out in between. So pushing forward. Jamestown, Wartburg, Madisonville, we're looking at that slight risk for severe storms and a marginal risk from La Follette, Sneedville, Harlan, Williamsburg, and over into Newport. So all of you joining us have access to the WVLT First Alert weather app, the WVLT.tv, and of course, more showers on and off today, stronger coming in Wednesday evening, and there's all you need to know with that information right at the palm of your hands. And of course, we're on today for WVLT News at noon with all of the latest information that we are going to have. And of course, the team has already been kind of assembling here, if you will. We've all been kind of talking about what's going on, who's going to be here for what shifts, so that we have our team coverage in place for the next 24 to 48 hours. And then again on Saturday, should we feel the need to pass along some information to you. So we're going to be back with you on WVLT News at noon. For now, I'm meteorologist Kyle Granger in the WVLT newsroom. We'll see you soon, and please stay safe out there as the storms move through later on today and through tomorrow.